My name's Ian Hall. I'm the Northumbrian Section Secretary of the Veteran Cycle Club. This event here is an annual event. It's organised in turn by various sections of the Veteran Cycle Club. In this case, Northumberland next year, I think somewhere down in the south of the country. It's yet to be decided where. We have at the moment in this section about a dozen active members. The membership is low at the moment. We just began this club in this area about a year ago, and we're very, very fortunate in a very, very short time to have such a big event for the club. We're expecting around about 170 people here, but in actual fact the indications are coming in that we may even exceed that. That's a fair amount of people to look after for a week period.
I joined the Veteran Cycle Club in about 1983. And I think it's the best thing I ever did because it's a real family club. It's open to anybody who has an interest in the history of the bicycle, in restoring old bicycle, and particularly riding bicycles, because this is our main interest. We hold various events, and this is one of the main events of the year, the club camp, and this is always held in a different location in the country. Members of the club decide they're going to run a camp, they find a venue, and this makes sure that we spread this venue around the countryside. I think this is about the 8th or 9th club camp, maybe even more. We have at the moment about 1,880 members, and these are spread mostly all over the country, but many overseas, because we are an international club, and we have members in actually 15 different countries, as far away as New Zealand and Australia, America, and all over Europe. So we're very international.
What attracted you to coming up?
Well, bikes are the main part. Now we're riding through the commons here. I think me and my brother both got a more general interest in bikes and, well, the history of bicycles. Hardly heard of any historic veteran events in Holland. I've been in Haarlem last year at World Championships, I believe. But further on, I hardly know about them in Holland. But so I haven't taken place in others one before. But well, I'm quite interested.
So what is this machine you're riding at the minute?
Well, I just landed, just borrowed it. I don't know.
Is it easy to ride?
No, you have to get. It rides like a high wheeler, and never rode one of them before. But I have to get used to the steering attached to the drive principle. I had something like it on a recumbent, but that worked just a little different. You just couldn't steer it by hand, and here you need the hands. So well, I have to get used to it a little bit.
Rock Hall being a rather ancient building, goes back about the year 1300 or something, meant that they had never used so much water before as we did on the first night, and so we ran out of water, and of course my answer to that was, well, everybody better stagger the times they get up in the mornings to go for a shower.
Going to be catered for, accommodated either within this old hall of rock here, or we're going to have them outside camping. They're in various bed and breakfasts and self-catering apartments in the area. Each day we're going to organise rides for them. The area of Northumberland, this particular area is specifically beautiful. We have a number of castles, we have the sea, of course, beautiful scenes, scenery. We have, of course, very, very quiet roads, ideal for the type of cycling that this club enjoys. We have, as you'll no doubt see, a number of what we call ordinaries, ordinary cycles, to the layman, penny farthings. There's a fair few here. We also have pedicines, and a fair selection of safety bikes, which are pretty much conventional types of cycle, from about 1900 to present day cycles. The club in this area is, as I say, very small, but we hope to also capitalise upon the fact that there's so many cyclists in the area of these very, very unusual type cycles, that we should try and attract some more members, because we believe that there will be a fair number of people out there who are really interested in this type of cycling, but they don't know where to join, or they don't know about the club. But this is a good promotional exercise for our section. Very happy with it.
Spokes are just coming a little bit slack. You can just get them a bit tighter than they are. Don't normally do this without taking the tyre off completely, but if I can manage to do it without breaking the joint in the tyre, I will do. That's the problem. I think the joint is glued and I didn't want to actually break it. It's a lot easier to do it if the tyre's completely out of the way. My daughter and I we've just done what, 3,000, sorry, we've just done over 1,030 miles in the last 12 days. But every spoke is also on this bike is lock nutted as well, so I've got to slacken off all the lock nuts as well. And then I'll have to go and find a spoke key, I'm afraid.
Well, this is 1896 Singer, a Grand Deluxe.
Yeah.
And I found it last year at the national meet at Tallington in Cambridgeshire. It was in scrap condition in the back of a trailer.
Oh, right. So you've restored it?
Yeah.
There are some lovely diaries, shall we say, about people who did cycle tours in the 1880s, 1890s with a camera, and there were commercially available brackets for mounting the camera onto the bicycle. And of course in the 1890s it had to be solid tyres, but it was probably a tricycle with two bloody great big wheels and a little wheel in the front. And they were fun, but they're not getting in the way. So those tricycles are valuable now. And because they just so got in the way, whereas high bicycles, pennies, I mustn't call them pennies, I get so told off for it, but I still think they're lovely, don't take up much space. Got 3 in my house. I've got 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the hall and 1 in the bedroom. There are some tyre sizes that were used years ago. See, another lovely thing about the high bicycle is you just buy 15 foot of tyring and wrap it around the rim. It's easy. But when you get onto more modern pneumatic machines, they use odd size tyres which perhaps are no longer available, and perhaps are available in Holland. I found 2 of the size I need in a jumble sale there in Holland last year. I think you're probably about, I'd say more like the 30 than 25, though it's mainly hollow. It's hollow forks, hollow backbone, and hollow rim.
Yeah. You're right.
And lots of oil. Oil is still fairly cheap, but penny farthing bearings don't come that... Good night! Be bad! Kids are fun, aren't they? Yeah. That's the good thing, kids are fun.
They're just such great places for the kids and everybody. It's like almost like one big happy family, but I expect you've been told that a million times already.
Team leaders are going to supervise, right? The next member of the team, the next biggest one, is going to be the wheelbarrow. The next 2 are going to grab a leg each.
Hang on. Let's go, boy.
Okay, enough.
It's a treasure hunt to start off the sports afternoon and we've organised teams rather than individual races to give the younger ones a better chance against the older ones by putting them into teams, and they've got to collect 24 items beginning with 24 different letters of the alphabet. So that's what they're all running around. They're getting to know the kids that they didn't get to know beforehand. And we're going to have some team races, wheelbarrow races, dressing up races, all that sort of thing. Just silly games. Makes a change from riding bikes, which by the end of the week I think the kids need.
All of you, you rubbish! Well done, Kane. And here's how you get off. You go whoosh.
Because we're just trying to bring the band's food in there now.
Also, on the last evening, we had a lot of entertainment. Local entertainers, culinarians, Dishalaggy, that's what they're calling it. Yeah, 7 of them, absolutely excellent musicians and singers. And then, of course, we had the Shyamoor Maras. They are a Tyneside group of singers, and one of them a magician, who was very popular actually.
Apologise, but we're trying singing these songs in English and they just don't make sense. But you know the tune, the words were by the great Joe Wilson, purely and simply didn't clash the door. Didn't clash the door, no I tell you that before, can you not let your mother have a rest? She's torn and mad, for years she's been so bad, and she cannot bear such noises in the least. There's no lights, didn't clash the doors. You're young and it's officers can be, and your mother's torn and mad, and your nurse is very bad, and she doesn't like to hear you clash the door. Just see your mother there sitting feeble in the chair. It's quiet that she wants to make a wheel. She's been your nose to right, been your guide at peace and strife, and I comfort you should study and should feel. There's no lights, didn't clash the door. See, you're young and you're tough resisting me. And your mother's strong and mad, and your nurse is very bad, and she doesn't like to hear you clash the door. So it didn't flash the door or make any idle store, 'cause the store alone carries your mother in. As quiet as can be you walk and let us see that you never give a chance to complain. Then no lights didn't clash the door. See, you're young and you're helpless as can be, and your mother's stolen out, and your nurse is very bad, and she doesn't like to hear you clash the door. Yes, your mother's stolen out, and your nurse is very bad, and she doesn't like to hear you clash the door.
There's a bottle there, you see, there's a bottle. There's a bottle there, there's a glass. Glass bottle, nothing in there, you see.
Did you find it, Dottie?
If you watch very closely, madam, this bottle will change places with the glass, and the glass will immediately change places back with the bottle. You see the magic words, Umahat, Wahama, Ataha, watch it, shoo. The bottle goes from there to there, and the glass goes from there across to there. That's it. And the hard part is to get them back. Two players in the ball's gone back, it doesn't go back. The other main thing now, this is we're doing something like it through. Oh, we're on. Da, 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 da. These are Chinese Lincoln rings. Now it doesn't matter where you hit them, they'll join together here. So you can just you can just give them a little rub like that and they'll just join together. Just melt together and they'll join. You'll have two join together like that, see that. Oh, well, hurry up. There's a joint there somewhere, though, isn't there? Did you hear about the man that knocked on Dracula's door and he got a bat in the mouth? Hang on. Just quickly fix this. Oh. Oh. No.
I would like now to introduce our president. What's your name again? Anna! Your man, it is no introduction. Come on, lads, thank you.
It works. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think Edmund couldn't remember my name because I'm the only one who's got his own badge on. But seriously, we really have had a magnificent week. Anyone who has to follow this term, this week, this camp, is going to be very hard put to do anything comparable. But we come to that later. First of all, if we can just reflect what a terrific week this has been. Very few of us, I think, had any idea of what an absolutely delightful part of the country this is, with all those beautiful sea views, the great deal of history, all those interesting castles. I think even one or two of you have even found a bike or two. But for the week, we do offer our very sincere thanks to the Northumbrian section, in particular, of course, Ian and Edmund Hall, the main organisers who took the bookings and did all those sort of arrangements. There are Ron and Diane. And of course, not least for all of you members who come from all parts of the British Isles, and it's even some of you from overseas.
Yes, that's fine. But it was very successful, and at the end, of course, we got so many letters of appreciation. They come from, I mean, these people are coming from all around the country, but not only all around the country, but people from the continent as well. And there's about 168 participants, plus infants, about 7 infants, and 3 of us organising or assisting in the organising. So it was quite a big event. But Rock Hall and its and the village and etc. certainly lend itself to be an ideal sort of location for the event.
Itself actually offers some excellent publications. One of them is the yearbook. This one is updated with various information, giving details of the membership of the club, the club's library, which all members can actually tap into. We have mark enthusiasts of particular cycles, so if anybody has a particular interest in a particular make, they can actually ring them or write to them and ask them for further information. This is all listed here, but interesting enough, value for money as the club is, I say this to everybody, £15 membership is absolutely excellent value. You get 3 times a year an excellent publication called The Bone Shaker. This gives a lot of insight into the history and some beautiful photographs of varying types of cycling over the years. Excellent publication, beautiful, lovely quality, but the gem of it all is this one here, the New Views. This actually is published bi-monthly, and it gives details of section events, discussions about problems, people asking information in here, but also of course the one that I always dive to at the very back of this magazine is of course the sales and wants. They're the things, exchanges, they take particular interest in. Well, I think a lot of members actually go for that. And of course we go back to the shop again. There's a listing of all of the actual items which is available through the shop.